JayWalking.
Yeah, man. It's back. I told you it was going to be cooler today, though.
Yep.
It's a lot better now. I was looking forward to this time of year. You know, I think I look forward to this time of year mainly because for so many years it was like, oh, I'm to the final steps of the Olympia prep.
Crunch time.
You know, these are the last 4 or 5 weeks, and then September would be the show, so I'd always finish. And you know, I never really looked forward to, you know, I would be back to traveling and whatever, but it would be more like, okay, get me out of this routine, especially like the fish diet. You know, I did that crazy fish.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about kind of how I was a trash can eating.
What do you mean?
You know, we talked about Chris Aceto's diets last night a little bit, and you were talking about how, you know, he would send me a list each day of like, okay, it's just protein, carbs. We never counted fat. So he'd say, okay, today you're going to eat 300 grams protein and 600 grams of carbs, and he didn't care what sources it came from. So I would eat the craziest stuff when I was on a diet, and it's kind of one of those theories, right? Which it kind of supports, and I think you kind of diet like that too, where it's like it really doesn't matter the carbs as long as they're like low-fat carbs.
Right. Can't be
And
junk. Yeah.
some people are like scared of sugar, but when you're training, you know, the sugar, I mean, your body's going to burn it up anyway. So I always mention, like, even after training, I'd have like honey and candy corn and
Coke.
like, yeah, Coca-Cola. I'd drink straight Coca-Cola. I remember leaving the gym when I used to train at Crown Valley when I lived in Orange County, and I'd be drinking a Coke, and people were like, aren't you like 5 weeks out from the Olympia? And, I mean, I was eating like crazy amount of food. Like, I would struggle to get 1,000 grams of carbs. But remember, I mean, I was eating out sushi, rice, and like trying to measure. You know, I remember he'd tell me go eat a big sushi meal or whatever, and that was when I first started eating sushi. I remember moving to California. I'm like, damn, I'm not sure about this raw fish thing. You know?
Really?
Yeah. I remember Matt, you know, my friend Matt from high school.
Of course.
He brought it to my house, and I'm like, get this shit out of here. That was like in 2000, I think. And then I end up using that as kind of like one of my cheat meals, because obviously the rice has a lot of sugar in it. So you guys that eat a lot of sushi understand that rice sticks together. There's a lot of sugar in that rice.
Oh, okay.
So you guys that think, oh, I'm not eating that much carbs, you're getting way more carbs than what you think you are, because the rice is loaded with that stuff. But you know, I was talking to Stan about his diet and how he's already ready, right? So when you're super lean, that allows you to able to eat into the show. So it's not so bad to be in shape early. Like, people are always scared, like, oh man, I don't want to peak too early. Yeah, peak earlier. Like, get yourself in shape so you can just kind of ease your way into the show and allow yourself more calories.
No stress either.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you're training stress-free like that, man, it's like endless what your body can actually do. You can still put on a lot of size and you know, still stay lean at the same time, because you're gonna have the highs and low days that allow you to be able to eat like that. But you know, it's pretty easy, you know, when you're in that great a condition. And then I didn't do a lot of cardio. Like, the amazing thing is nowadays I do more cardio now than I ever did. But remember, I'm not as bulky too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice. I do this, like I mentioned, more for my therapy, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get out in the morning, kind of start the day. I was up early this morning. I got up about 7. But I slept really, really well, and I only need my 5 hours. So for me, it's not so bad. But you know, these guys now with these diets, I'm trying to figure out what really works. There's so many theories out there, and I know, like, people say, well, do you need fats like avocado and almond butter and stuff like that? But I think when you're eating enough carbohydrates, you know, you don't necessarily need the fats. I mean, obviously on the lower carb days, maybe, you know, I would eat more red meat or whatever, but I never added, I can tell you through my prep, I never really added fats to my diet. It's weird, you know? I just never believed in it. Never really never really needed it. I mean, towards the end I did a little bit. I think it's harder now at our age to like get fatter. Does that make sense?
Well, if you diet all the time and if you eat clean all the time, not diet but eat clean most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I eat clean all the time, but like yesterday, I feel like, you know, this intermittent fasting is something that I kind of do, like,
Not by accident.
yeah, I do it by accident because, like I told you yesterday, I ate like 2 meals. I traveled all day,
Yeah.
and then I came home and I had like back-to-back meals before I went to the gym.
Yeah.
And you know, I was really full last night. I'm actually sore already today.
And you were lean. I told you. I said, gee, you look really lean.
So I think like those weekends when I travel, you know, those used to keep me lean too.
Yeah.
So that's what's kind of nice about, you know, not always stuffing your face. And people talk about the off season versus pre-contest, and I just want to tell everyone, like, contest to training to off season, your diet should be very similar, just less restrictive with the calories in the off season. But you know what's funny is, and you probably agree, I ate more training for the shows than I did in the off season.
Yeah.
I wasn't as hungry. So for me, I would always just, you know, kind of eat by the clock rather than you know, I eat like 6 meals or whatever. I would make sure that I ate every 2.5 to 3 hours. 2.5 is what really had to be, that was the best window for me to eat. 2.5 hours, because if I ate every 3 hours, I didn't get my meals in.
Yeah.
And you ran into that problem
All the time. Yeah.
You wouldn't get your meals in, right?
Yeah.
So how do you space your meals?
Well, you got to start thinking after 2.5 hours for sure. You got to start looking for your food. If you wait till 3, then you're not going to eat till like 3.5, 4. That's the problem. I mean, I remember you sitting in my store, finishing a meal, and you're like, okay, what am I going to eat next? I said, dude, you just finished eating, but that's the way you were.
Yeah.
You were already thinking about the next meal, remember?
I was already thinking about,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like the training, right? When I leave the gym, I already think about the next workout. That's how I was when I was, obviously not now, because I walk in the gym a lot of days like, okay, what am I training today?
Yeah.
Today is arms. I already know that because I've trained everything else.
Yeah.
So I actually thought about doing triceps last night. I actually felt really good. That I was going to continue to train, but
I got to do triceps, so I'll do it with you.
But you know, I was at Venice Golds last week, and that was probably the most I've ever got stopped when I was training. It doesn't get any less, that's for sure. But
nope.
You even said for a Sunday it was super packed. I remember thinking when I was meeting you there, like, oh, it's not going to be busy, right?
Tons of tourists.
A lot of tourists, right?
Lots.
Do they charge the tourists that still come into Golds Venice?
Oh yeah.
Day pass are $40 to get into Golds now.
Per person.
So you guys traveling to Golds Venice, remember it's $40 to get in there per person. Or how much is a week's pass? 150?
Yeah, sounds about right.
So it might be worth it to do the $150.
Yeah, if you stayed a whole week.
If you're gonna go, you know, more than 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Which is what most people would do when they stay out there.
Yeah.
But you know, it's funny, all the people I met were going from LA to Vegas.
Yep.
And I telling them like, guys, you got a wake up call when you hit Vegas because it's hot as shit compared to.
Yep.
And then I went down to Dana Point, and that was like brought back a lot of memories. But I think if I lived out there, I wouldn't want to do anything at all.
Retirement.
Well, I just don't think it's hard to get places, and it's just kind of like that atmosphere. Like everyone's walking on the beach in the morning. I took walks. I did my JayWalking on the beach.
Wow.
So it was really awesome, man. It was just cool to listen to the ocean instead of all these crazy cars driving by.
I know.
And
it's a chill vibe, huh?
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of, you know, that's like I said, that's why I walk in the morning too, is because, you know, I kind of most of the time I'll do calls or whatever if you're not here filming me talk, but I think about things like, okay, what's next and this and that, and you know, we've had a crazy last 3 weeks with the launch of you know, my cognition product, the multivitamin launched, and then the protein. So that's going extremely well. People are getting that in their hands now. We started shipping.
Nice.
But we were doing pre-orders on that for a while. And then, you know, I'm really looking forward to the fall. I have a lot of trips coming up. Even after the Olympia, but right before I go to the Middle East, I'll be out there prior to the Olympia. And I have a Canadian tour coming in 2 weeks. And then I'll be in Idaho Falls for RIP Nutrition event. Hey, let's cross the street here so we don't get run over. And the work doesn't slow down, that's for sure.
Nope.
But another year I said I'll be in California more, and then it's like I'm limited on how much time I can actually spend out there.
I know.
I actually thought about going this week too. Like just to pop out for a couple days.
Yeah, you're not traveling next week, right?
I'm not.
Nice.
So
That's
maybe this coming weekend.
That'd be great.
Because I got to get a lot of work done, and I got to start prepping for Olympia.
Yep.
And get that stuff done. So I'm excited about that. Put you to work.
Oh yeah.
Who do we got now as front runners for the show? I saw this morning someone posted about Big Ramy.
Yeah, he asked for he requested an invitation.
Did he request it?
He requested it.
Did he really?
Yeah. But he requested it on his Instagram. I don't know if he actually contacted Jim.
Really?
Yeah. He saw Cedric, getting his, so he requested it on his Instagram. But that's not really.
But you know why Cedric got his, right?
Yeah, because he wasn't able to prep properly.
He was only a couple points shy from what I
Yeah. And because of his drills and all that stuff and work, he couldn't compete this summer. I'm glad he's going to be in the show. I like him.
You think he has a chance to win it?
I mean, I would love for him to win, but the Olympia is usually not his show. Arnold is, so we'll see.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Chris is training him, I think.
Oh, yeah? Well, you never know.
Chris has a lot of guys in the show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool to see all these guys, but people are forgetting about like the Steve Kuklos, and
yeah,
I think Juan can do well.
Yeah.
Juan Morel's lurking there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys. Michael Lockwood. He's in there. He'll be in the mix with these guys.
Yeah.
And everyone's just getting better and better,
Yeah.
But I still think Brandon and Rowley right now are the two front people. Pretty amazing. Big Ramy actually came in and
It'd be kind of cool.
Won the show, He could win it.
He could.
He's got all the tools to win.
Yeah, he could.
That would sell some tickets right at the end, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. That's for sure.
That'd be pretty amazing. And I'm not doing it. So don't ask.
We'll be there, though. We'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there filming for JTV. Make sure you guys check it out. Yeah, so I think the topic that comes up a lot is genetics, right? I mean, I couldn't have done what I did without having great genetics, but I always say, my structure wasn't like the perfect physique. It's hard to say, like, we could ask the viewers on here, and this is a question I'd love you guys to comment on here. Who has you consider the best genetics of any bodybuilder that you've seen? And it's going to vary because there's the newer viewers and then there's people that have been around forever. I mean, there's Lee Haney, like a perfect specimen, or there's Flex Wheeler, that we've heard that.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Chris Cormier and his potential, right?
Yeah.
Because he had like size and symmetry.
His shape.
I mean, they talk about Sean Roden being kind of like a limited version of Flex Wheeler. I don't know if he's as genetically gifted, but I think Flex kind of ruined his genetics, though. What do you think?
He got too big, huh?
I think so.
Arnold 93 was like perfect.
Yeah, crazy, right?
217, I think, on stage, dude.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, Phil early on had great genes too. I mean, I think Phil's arms are a little overdeveloped. His chest was, he still had the narrow clavicles where I think his arms were just too big for that. Where Flex had seemed like the best package. I remember '93, bro.
Oh my God.
'92 when he won the USA, and seeing those pictures and being like, man, like he had it all, right?
Yeah, he was flawless.
When he had the yellow trunks on.
Yeah.
But you know, people talk about Arnold, and Arnold was, I mean, he didn't have the smallest waist, but he knew how to hide the flaws, and his legs weren't really up to par with like what you consider ideal. The guys are getting a lot bigger, but they still talk about those classic things. I mean, talk about Frank Zane. I mean, how much did Frank Zane weigh when he won the Mr.
175.
Olympia?
170.
That's crazy. Like, amazing physique, you know?
Samir wasn't even 200.
Really?
Yeah, he was like 190,
Chris
182.
Aceto told me Samir Benoot, and you should ask him this, was the most impressive guy ever he's ever seen in the gym.
Wow.
When he used to train at Gold's Venice.
Wow. That says a lot.
Yeah. He used to come in there. Do you remember how Aaron Baker used to come in?
Yeah.
Like, he was impressive in the gym. Remember how
Hell
big he
yeah.
was?
Yep.
I had this,
Oh no.
I knew this guy that traveled with Aaron Baker. Let's kill it for a second.
I know.
Yeah. And he told me he used to take like 20 minutes just to get up on, like the socks and
I believe it.
and the shoes, and like he used to wear the triple socks, remember?
Like a fashion show, the hot skin unitard.
Oh my goodness, he was a fucking he was a show model for hot skins.
Yep.
He must have had every striped
The singlets.
combination, and
Yeah.
he had like double tank tops.
Yep.
He had great jeans.
Oh yeah. That man.
I mean, people talk about Matt Mendenhall. Remember him?
Yep. Blonde, blue
You
eyes.
guys look him up. He was supposedly like a guy. He never turned pro, but I would have to say the best genetics. I would have to say Wheeler, because the waist ratio, and you know, he wasn't, like you said, he was 217, whatever.
Crazy. 217 at the Arnold, the best
And
ever.
he's winning shows. I mean, to think now, do you think anyone could win at 217? Like,
No. Doesn't look like that. They wouldn't look like that.
although this guy from Iran, this shorter guy.
The guy from Paul DeMayo from Iran?
No.
Chupan.
Yeah,
Hadi
he
Chupin.
could do some real damage at the Olympia.
Yeah.
They should let him. I mean, they don't let him. They won't let his
I know.
visa, because he could do some real damage. I mean, I don't think he has the prettiest physique, but damn, he's hard and he's got some round muscle.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that new guy, Hassan, that was at the Tampa Pro.
The Middle East Paul DeMayo. Yeah.
Bro, he looked crazy. I didn't see that video. I saw it on like YouTube, but I didn't watch it.
Chris is helping him, you know.
Yeah, he sent me pictures of him. He said this kid's gonna be really dangerous.
Crazy legs. Yeah.
So he looks, kind of looks a little facially.
Yep.
Too, you know?
Yep.
But that's actually good, you know, genetics wise. You know, we talked about that documentary with Cormier.
Yeah.
And how he had the most potential, and we feel that he never really fulfilled it, right?
I know.
I wonder how he feels about that now.
Well, we'll have to watch the movie.
Because back then he's like, you know, I'm living my life and
Yeah.
whatever. But you wonder what you think, because someone like me, who lived, dude, I lived the dream, right? I mean, I made it to the top. I lost it, came back. I was traveling around the world. I was paid like the most money to do what I did, and you know, really got into people's living room and really, you know, showed my work ethic, which people respect, which now today is like that's really what people know me for, right?
Yeah.
But, and I don't stop, but you know, I worked my ass off and I didn't let off the gas when everyone says, man, enjoy your life. And I can look back and say, man, I don't have regrets, but my regrets are, you know, man, I missed out on doing this and this and this, so it's important for me to do it now, right?
Yeah.
It's not too late. I mean,
No.
people, I used to think 46 was old,
It's not old.
and as we live it. But man, I want to live my life now more than ever. So that's why, like, I do step out of the box and do some of the things that I wouldn't normally do. So tonight I'm going to do something special for Angie. I think I'm going to take her out.
Nice.
You know, kind of get out of the house a little bit. We've been working hard, you know.
Yeah.
Been traveling last week. It was a lot of work. Even though it was kind of like a vacation trip, whatever, I still was working with the new protein launch.
Yeah.
So, best genetics in bodybuilding. Comment below. You can say me too. good, huh?
Good.
You by yourself today, huh?
Yeah.
Got my rim fixed.